Bam injured his toe, so the Miami Heat are pretty useless without him.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
First quarter. Delicious. Wiggins! 10 triples. The highest scoring quarter in the 38-year history of the Miami Heat. Out to Jovic with the block shot. Miami wins it 136 to 131. Heat looking for the win. Jaquez on the move against Tyson. Spins with 8 seconds left. Puts it up and ties it. How about one more miracle? The lob for Wiggins. He did it. The Heat win it. A spectacular finish for Miami.
We're going to be championship.
Thank you, Leandro. Awesome.
All right.
I don't know where to begin. I am so overwhelmed with joy. I found my joy. You've found your joy. The Miami Heat have found their joy. We're so back. We are so back. And I don't know where to begin, honestly. I'm sitting here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5, 7 pages of chicken scratch notes from this absolutely insane game that transpired. And I don't know where to begin. Other than that, this Miami Heat team is a bunch of psychos, which is my favorite kind of Miami Heat team. And I love this team. I love these guys. I can't believe it. We beat the Cavs without Bam and Tyler. Unreal, especially within the context of what? 6.5, 7 months ago? We get absolutely punked, chumped, embarrassed, swept, castrated in that playoff series against the Cavs. Then Bam gets hurt recently, and I had the audacity to say we're useless without Bam. And look, against the Nuggets, you might still be useless without Bam. But these guys don't care. They're a bunch of maniacs. They go and beat the Blazers, who still are the only team that beat the Thunder. The dopey Hornets, we have that first quarter. We score the most points in human history. We can ignore the second quarter, but we still won. And we go from being the slowest team, now we're the fastest team. Last year, we barely broke 100 points each game. Now we're scoring like 130, 140 points. We're having these quarters all the time where we're scoring like 38, 42 points. It's unbelievable. And everybody's contributing. Everybody eats. Everybody's making an impact. Everybody's bought in. This team has such an identity, how they attack, the guttiness, the grittiness. Hands down the most exciting NBA game thus far of the season. And some of these stats are absolutely crazy. The Cavs from the field were 49 for 120. They were 21 for 65 from 3. 65 three-point attempts. The Heat only had 36 three-point attempts. We hit 12 three-pointers. They hit 21. But where we really made up for it was from the free throw line. We were 36 for 41 from the free throw line. 88%. That is damn impressive. Whereas the Cavs are only 19 for 27. We did get beat up on the offensive boards again. Once again, we're without Bam, so that's not too surprising. And we had twice as many turnovers as them. So despite all that, we still won. Very impressive. So let's start with Andrew Wiggins, man. I am so happy for Andrew Wiggins because it's so important that he started playing well. Started off the season a little shaky, but man, the last bunch of games, handful of games, he has been fantastic. And it's so important for him to hold it down without a guy like Tyler. 23 points, 5 assists, steal, 8 for 13 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. Played some really, really good defense, made some big shots, big plays, and he seems really, really happy. He seems confident, and the Heat have inspired confidence in him. And of course, that final play, we'll get to that. Kel'el Ware, another guy who a lot of people have been, sort of on the fence about. And, my excuse for Kel'el Ware is the kid's 21 years old. Give him some time. And we should be happy with what we've gotten so far out of Kel'el Ware. Remember, this time last year, I'm pretty sure he wasn't even playing. I don't think he started getting consistent minutes until maybe December, January, something like that. And even Spo said that last night was his best game in a Miami Heat uniform. 14 points, 20 rebounds, 7 of them being offensive rebounds. That is huge. He was a +6, 7 for 14 from the field. And forget about the stats. It was his tenacity, his body language, how he had an impact on the game. That's what you need from Khalil. And like I always say about him, he has that tattoo, the humble beast tattoo. He needs to tap into the beast side. And hopefully, as he gets his confidence, we're going to see him do that more and more often. Norman Powell. This guy is an all-star. Let's start the campaign. Norman Powell, all-star campaign. He already broke the record in some... I'll post it. I forget what it is. I think he broke the Miami Heat record for the most points in his first 6 games or something crazy like that. He had more points than LeBron and Dwayne Wade and all these other guys and Jimmy and all these amazing players. He has been so consistently good at scoring, which we needed so desperately, especially without Tyler. 33 points. He was a +17 team high, 8 for 19 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, 13 for 14 from the line. I love Norman Powell. The guy's an all-star. Pelle Larsson, this dude is tough as nails. He, earlier in the season, wasn't even playing. Then all of a sudden he's starting. Last night he played 26 minutes. And this is a guy, I mentioned this before, how his stat line doesn't necessarily always show how much he contributes to a game. The kid is tough as nails. Same with Drew Smith, man. Guys like Pelle Larsson and Drew Smith, it is so important to have guys like that on your team. Those two dudes, talk about two guys that embody Heat culture, and especially with Drew Smith and Pelle Larsson, that Blazers game, man, oh man, were those guys a major contributing factor to winning that game. And they're just a bunch of dogs. Like, you can just see how Pelle Larsson and Drew Smith, like, they take such joy and pride out of guarding guys like a Donovan Mitchell. They love it. It's like they're foaming at the mouth to go out there and guard one of the best players in the league. And then Davion has just been consistently great all season long. 11 points, 8 assists, +12. Awesome. I love Davion. Another guy, tough as nails. Jaime Jaquez, 6th man of the year, most improved player. Let's get that campaign going. 22 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, steal, 2 blocks, 7 for 12 from the field. This guy is just a maniac. He comes in off the bench and he is like steroids for our team. And remember, we stunk when this game started. We were down, 15-5. We were shooting 2 for 12. We were not playing well. Then Jaime comes in. What happens? 13-3 run. And Jaime just with through the roof confidence. So many big plays, so many big shots. And Jovic, a little bit of a quiet game last night, even though he still came up big when it was necessary. 8 points, 8 rebounds. He was a +8. But the previous game against the Blazers, probably one of his best games ever in a Heat uniform. Had that amazing block against Drew Holiday. Hit some huge shots. I forget what he had off the top of my head. It was like 28, 7, and 8. Some monster game. And think about it. You have 2 prospects, a 21 and 22-year-old Jovic and Ware, in back-to-back games with arguably their best games of their career. That is really, really nice. And like I said, if we can get consistent, good play out of those 2 guys, man, this team's going to be a real problem. Jovic is 6'10", and we're seeing him be a little more physical now. That is great. We're 11 games in, and this team seems to have very much an identity. So once all this stuff really, really comes together, you iron out a few little wrinkles, little problems maybe with the offensive rebounds, man, along with the East being as wide open as it is, this team could really be a problem. And I don't think I'm being delusional. In my Let's Be Optimistic About the Miami Heat video I did before the season, I was being a little delusional. But now all of our delusions seem to be coming true. And finally, Simone Fontecchio, mio fratello italiano, Maron. He has been pretty damn good himself. He's not perfect all the time, but the thing about Simone is that he comes in, plays his 16, 17, 18 minutes, and the guy is just instant offense. He hits shots in times where we need shots, especially in the first half. Like last night, 13 points in 16 minutes. You need that. You need a guy like that on your team. I just love this team. I love this roster, and I think once Tyler and Bam are back and we finally get to see a healthy Heat team, think about everything they've accomplished so far this season. And we haven't even been fully healthy yet. Okay, let me just scan through my notes here and see if I have any more fun things to add to this, because like I said, that game, so much transpired. It's so overwhelming. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so happy with this team that my brain is kind of like it's on overload. But what do I have written down here? Niko Jovic cut that stupid mullet haircut. He's back to having a nice looking haircut. So good for him, guys. It's I know the mullet made a little comeback, but let's move on. Let's move on from the mullet thing. Can we move on from the mullet thing? Because I walk around LA and I see way too many people with the mullet thing. Okay, there's my little mullet rant. Okay, and we stunk to start this game. Like I said, we started off 2 for 12, down 15-5. I do have Norm is shooting 46% from 3. That's awesome. We're outscored 10-2 in the paint. It was looking pretty bad, and all of a sudden, old Jaime Jaquez comes in and boom. Instant spark, instant offense, instant defense. We go on a run, 9-1 run, ends up being a 13-3 run. Simone had 8 points in 3 minutes. I have some other stat I'll put in there if I remember of everything that Jaime did just in his first 2 minutes. Absolutely crazy how productive he was just in the first 2 minutes alone. In this second quarter was fantastic. The Cavs couldn't hit a shot to save their life. They were 3 for 20, and the Heat bench was playing really well. They were beating the Cavs 21-10. Kel'el Ware, this is something that's really positive about Kel'el Ware. He started off 0 for 5. He was 0 for 5 in that quarter. Ends the game going 7 for 14. That shows you that his confidence isn't wavering and he isn't getting in his head. He's getting mentally tough. That is huge for his confidence and maturity. Shout out to Kel'el Ware. And we ended up going on a huge run in that second quarter, a 20-2 run. They ended up winning that quarter 37-23. We're up 9 at halftime. Third quarter comes around. Ware was already up to 12 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell was still cold from 3. He was 1 for 8 from 3 at this point. Wiggins had a great quarter. He was up to 17 points, had at least 10 points in the third quarter. And we were up to as much as 15 points with, I think, only about 3-ish minutes left. I have here we were up 13 at 3:30, and then we were up 15. And then all of a sudden, it was inevitable. The Cavs got hot. Donovan Mitchell hit a 3, and then Sam friggin' Merrill goes back to back to back to back with 4 3-pointers in a row. Absolutely crazy. And then Kenny Atkinson got thrown out of the game. I don't even know what happened with that. And another thing I've written down here is that the Heat at this point had twice as many free throw attempts as the Cavs. That's really good. That means we're getting to the basket, drawing contact, being physical. Awesome. And despite that little run at the end of the third quarter, we ended up tying that third quarter 39-39. Let me ask you this. How often last season were we having 39-point, 40-something point quarters? Very, very rarely. Now, it's every game, multiple times a game. And then the fourth quarter, man, pure guts from both teams. And shout out to the Cavs, too. The Cavs are an awesome team. Norm hit back-to-back buckets. Heat go on a 7-0 run. And I even have in my notes right here, Heat deserved this game. They really did. Jaime had an awesome lob to Kel'el. We're over here forcing 24-second violations. I think the Heat forced 3 24-second violations. We're over here forcing turnovers. Jaime had that beautiful and one, tough and one. We're up 2 with 1:20. Then it's tied at 124 with 1 minute left. Norm had that beautiful Euro step. That gave him 31 points. And then Mobley with that 3. Man, what an absolute almost dagger that was until Jaime. Get into Jaime, let him attack. Man, what a ballsy, awesome play from Jaime. So overtime, the Heat were completely locked in on defense. Jaime and Ware both had career highs in rebounds that game. Scott Foster over here trying to take the game away from us with that nonsense basket interference call. Davion hit a big shot to put us up 3. Jaime hit a really nice turnaround jump shot to put us up 3. Norm got fouled on the inbound. He had a free throw, but he missed it. But he did get to the free throw line again and hit 2 really, really big free throws to put us up 3. And then we all saw the Donovan Mitchell three-pointer. After going, is that right? He was 2 for 15 from 3? Do I have that right? He was 2 for 15 from 3 before he hit that crazy shot in the end? Jeez, that's nuts. So the big question is, did Donovan Mitchell step out? I'm not really sure. I can't really find that many angles on it, but if you look closely, it looks very, very close. He very well might have stepped out. Now, finally, to the play. The lob from Jovic to Wiggins. Now, I've been hearing different things about this play. I saw Brady Hawk tweeted that Spo had drawn up this play something like a bunch of years ago and hadn't used it yet. Then I saw people saying that it was Chris Quinn who came up with the play. I'm not really sure, but this play reminds me of 2 other games from, I'm pretty sure, the 2023 season with Gabe lobbing it to Jimmy. There was a game against the Rockets. I'm pretty sure it was late in 2023, I think. And Gabe lobbed it into Jimmy to win the game in a very, very similar fashion. And there was the other one, I think it was to force overtime against the Bucks in the 2023 playoff series. Once again, Gabe lobbing it into Jimmy. Now, I don't know if those plays were identical, but it was a similar situation and similar kind of play, and it was a lob. So, you know that Spo likes these kind of plays, but this play was just beautiful. First of all, shout out to Jovic and Gabe in the past for making these passes. Inbounding it from the sideline, there's a guy in your face, and you have to throw it, I mean, what's that got to be? 30 feet? Lob? With that kind of pressure? 0.4 seconds left. So shout out to Jovic for executing this pass. But a really interesting thing right from the get-go was what Jaime did by bringing out Devin Mobley and really taking him out of the picture. Because right when you take Evan Mobley all the way out to the 3, because Jaime was playing so well, he was so hot that the Cavs were giving him so much attention, they put Mobley on him, and that leaves the paint wide open. So before you even inbound the ball, the paint in the basket is wide open, is completely vulnerable. And then you have Norm kind of run through Wiggins and Davion as this kind of like decoy guy, and you see Davion set a pick for Norm, who also all the attention is on him because he was playing great. He was up to 33 points at this point. Everyone knows how good of a three-point shooter he is. So Norm runs through, Davion sets a pick for him and then turns around real quick and sets a pick for Wiggins, and the rest is history. But that Norm running through like that, it throws the defenders off just enough to where they're like, oh, like, what's going on? It really throws kind of a monkey wrench. It's a very weird kind of scenario for the defenders because it's almost like that Spider-Man meme where everybody's kind of like pointing at each other and what's going on. And it throws those 3 defenders that are all kind of clumped up there just enough in that split second. Sam Merrill is lost. He doesn't know what's going on. And the rest is history. Jovic makes the pass, and Wiggs gets the dunk in under 0.4 seconds. Just truly, truly beautiful basketball. Shout out to Spo, Chris Quinn, everybody, the whole roster, the whole coaching staff. Amazing win. Okay, so that's it. I've rambled way too much. I'm horrified to know how long this video is going to be and how long this is going to take me to edit. But Spo, Coach of the Year, Jaime, Sixth Man of the Year, and Most Improved Player, and Norm is an all-star, and we still have Tyler and Bam coming back, and I love this team. These guys, once again, have an identity. Everybody's contributing, everybody eats, everybody goes out there and just plays their heart out. I love this team. This is the embodiment of Heat culture. I'm so happy for all these guys, so happy for Spo, everything that he's gone through in the last year with that nightmare of last season. The guy went through a divorce, guy's house burnt down, but at least his team is playing great, and he clearly is one of the best coaches in the league, if not the best, and that is it. Go Heat. Man, I love this team.
We're going to be championship.
Thank you, Leandro. Awesome.
All right.